Hi, I'm the Scrub and you're here for one reason. Matoya, love you, salt of the earth and all that, but if you could stop talking about your moldy old hole, that'd be really good right about now. No, I completely understand what you mean by talking about this dungeon that we're about to be doing, but please call it literally anything else besides Dusty Private Chambers, or Old Overgrown Tomb, or the Path to the Velvet Underground. I would say that I need a drink after this, but I'm afraid to ask what the local establishment calls itself. Oh, good? Nothing offensive? Great, what's it called? The Moose Knuck... Time to learn about Matoya's Relict. Simplified. If you're using the duty support system, I'd recommend single pulling this dungeon. The narrow entrance will open up to Matoya standing with 3 frogs. The green frog on the left will create an earthy portal for you to interact with and be taken to the first part of the dungeon. Head down the ramp and pick up the enemies. Continue down the next ramp and pick up the next group of enemies. The Relict Werwood will target random party members with a straight line AoE called Ovation. The Tarantula Hawks will cast Appy Toxin, which will put a medium-sized AoE at the feet of random party members. Just avoid all of the AoEs as best you can. When everything has been defeated, the frog will create a jump pad for you to walk onto, which will take you to the next area. Pull all of the Spriggans and head down the ramp on the right. 3 more Spriggans will appear, one being Son of Ziggy on a big rock. The Spriggans will cast Romp, which is a small conal AoE directed towards random party members. And Sonny of Ziggy will cast Jittering Glare, which is a narrow conal AoE. Both of these are easily dodgeable. Sonny of Ziggy will also cast Jittering Jounce, which is a straight line AoE that will follow the targeted player. This player will need to make sure that they don't run the AoE through anyone else in the party to avoid any extra damage. When everything has been defeated, the frog will create another jump pad to take you to the first boss. The Hard Rock Cafe is a tank buster. The cast of Petrified Pete will put 4 AoEs around the arena in a pattern. Getting hit by any of these as they go off will give you a Von stack. These AoEs will linger for a few seconds and will give you a sludge dot tick for as long as you stand in them. There will be 4 balls of mud that will land in the middle of these AoEs. On the outside of the arena, there are 4 drains that are sucking in everything around them. You will see that the 4 balls next to them on the sides of these drains will get dragged into them and disappear. The Mudmen will then cast Peak Pelt. This will cause everyone to be tethered to a ball of mud. Your ball of mud will fly through you and end up on the outside wall. If it is within the vicinity of a drain, the tether will break and the ball will be dragged away. So you will need to point your mud ball in the direction of a drain. However, if the ball doesn't end up next to a drain, it will get bigger and continue to be tethered to you. This will happen 3 times, with the ball getting larger and hitting harder with each pass. So it's important that you try your best to direct the ball into one of the drains as early as you can. Remember that these are untelegraphed straight line AoEs, so try to point these away from your fellow party members as well. Mudman will then turn to a random party member and cast Brittle Breccia. This will be a 270-degree expanding AoE towards this player. You can either move behind the boss or get far enough away to dodge the AoEs as they expand. You can also dodge in between the AoEs as they go off. Getting hit by any of these AoEs will give you a Von stack. Stone Age is a room-wide AoE. After another tank buster, the cast of Petrified Pete will repeat, but this time there will be Mudmen blocking 2 of the 4 drains around the arena. So when the tethers appear, you'll need to direct your balls of mud into the drains, making sure that you don't send your ball towards the Mudmen, as they will power up the mud ball and shoot it back towards you with approximately an extra 30% damage. This has the capability of potentially one-shotting a non-tank if you let it get big enough. Eventually, Mudmen will cast Falling Rock, which will give one player a stack marker. Group up to share the damage. From here, mechanics will cycle and repeat until the Mudman has been defeated. When the boss has been defeated, the frog will create a portal for you to interact with to take you back to the starting area. You'll then go back down the narrow entrance and the blue frog will create a watery portal for you to interact with, which will take you to the second part of the dungeon. Head through the door and turn left. Pick up the 2 Pugils and the gelatin. Continue around the corner, where at the end of the path there will be an opening on the left where 3 Opkins will enter the corridor. Group it all up and kill everything. Watch out for the Pugils, as they will have a small conal AoE called Screwdriver. And the Opkins will have a point blank AoE around them with the cast of Plain Pound. When everything has been defeated, the frog will lower the lift, allowing you to continue the dungeon. Pull the 5 Pugils and head down the stairs on the right. 2 Opkins and 2 Hropkins will spawn at the end of this path. Along with the AoEs from the previous pull, the Hropkins will cast Foul Waters, which will be a small point blank AoE at the feet of random players. Watch out for the AoEs and nuke everything down. Walk over the small water spout at the end of the path to be launched up to the next area. Pull and kill the 3 Jellicins on the path. Wait for the frog to lower the lift and you can take the water spout on the left into the next arena. Second boss time. Crash Smash will create 4 crystals on the cardinal points of the arena that will tether to the tank, and all of them will begin casting Crack. This will be a 4-hit cleaving tank buster, 1 hit from each of the crystals. All other players will need to stay away from these tethers, as they will go through you to get to the tank. Nixie will tether to the pipes on one side of the arena and cast Shower Power. 3 of the 4 pipes will get a glow around them. You will need to stand in the row of the non-glowing pipe, as the glowing pipes will shoot out a jet of water across their row of the platform. If you fail to make it to the safe zone in time, it will be a hard hit with a Von stack. Following this, Nixie will become untargetable and float up to the top part of the arena. It will cast called Pitter Patter. This will create several water spouts on the floor of the arena, as well as creating a cloud for itself and a few extra adds to stand on. You'll need to stand on the water spout that's closest to the cloud, as this is the only one that will launch you safely up to Nixie. The unfinished Nixie adds will start casting Singin' in the Rain. If any of these casts finish, it will instantly enrage the fight and wipe the group, so you'll need to defeat all of the adds as fast as possible. When all of the adds have been defeated, Nixie will jump down from the clouds and perform their ultimate called Sea Shanty on the platform. If anyone is still on the platform when this is being cast, it will instantly one-shot you. After this, the party will be sent back down to the platform. The next Shower Power cast will also come with every party member getting a point-blank AoE with the hit of Sputter. Just spread out and avoid overlapping these AoEs. During the next Tank Buster, more Sputter point-blank AoEs will be put on the non-tanks, so everyone needs to spread out as the tank takes the Tank Buster. The cast of Shower Power after that will also come with a cast of Splish Splash, which will put more water spouts around the arena. Getting hit by one of these AoEs will throw you into the air. If you end up standing on the wrong side of one of these water spouts, you can be thrown straight off the arena and instantly die. So just dodge around these water spouts as best you can. From here, mechanics will repeat until Nixie has been defeated. When the boss has been defeated, the frog will create a portal for you to interact with to take you back to the starting area. Again, head along the narrow entrance and the red frog will create a fiery portal to take you to the third area of the dungeon. Head for— whoa! Colors! Head forward and pick up the 2 slimes and the Phobad. Continue forward and watch out for a larger Phobad that will rise up from the lava and create 2 straight line AoEs from its hands. You might have to wait a moment for the AoEs to go off before crossing to the next section where there are 2 Elthers to pick up. Group them all up and kill everything. The slimes will have a medium-sized point-blank AoE around themselves called Flood. The Elthers will cast straight-line AoEs called Mash and a larger point-blank AoE around themselves called Spin. Just dodge out of these as best you can. When everything has been defeated, the frog will part the lava, allowing you to continue through the dungeon. Head around the corner and pick up the 6 slimes. Watch out for the larger Phobad again with the straight-line AoEs from its hands. After these go off, you can move to the end of the path where there will be 2 more slimes and a Phobad. The slimes will cast Thunder 3 and Fire 2 on random party members, as well as one of the slimes casting Ancient Arrow, which is a thick straight-line AoE directed towards a random party member. Just dodge out of everything in this pool as best you can. When everything has been defeated, the frog will again part the lava and the larger Phobad will appear. This Phobad will perform Hot Lava, which is a conal AoE, and Volcanic Drop, which is an AoE underneath the feet of random players. Just move out of these to dodge them. The frog will once again move the lava for us. At least one member of the party will need to walk forward and initiate the cauldron, beginning to stir up a meal. Right after this, the portal will be created to take us back to the beginning of the dungeon. As you head forward in the narrow entrance, a short cutscene will play. Head down the stairs on either side, and it's final boss time. Mother Porksy will cast Tenderloin, which is a room-wide AoE. It will move to one side of the arena and cast Huff and Puff. This will put a donut AoE in the middle of the arena while also creating a knockback from its position. You will need to get close to the Porksy in order to take the knockback and be blown into the safe zone. Knockback immunity will not work for this mechanic, so it's important that you make sure that you're close to the Porksy for this hit. Also, make sure that you don't get close in too early, as you will more than likely get hit by the AoE. Getting hit by the AoE will give you a Von Stack. Mother Porksy will create a proximity marker from the west point in the arena with the cast of Meat Mallet. You'll need to get away from this to reduce the overall damage to you. The Porksy will become untargetable as it slams itself on the ground in this spot. It will then cast Barbecue, creating a lingering narrow straight line AoE in the spot in front of it. Everyone will be unable to use their abilities during this mechanic. You'll get the debuff of Sucked In and start being pulled towards the Porksy. I'd recommend being as far away from the Porksy as possible to start this mechanic. You'll need to continuously move away from the Porksy, as well as dodging all of the straight line and small circular AoEs that will be thrown out during this time. Every AoE that you get hit by will not only give you a Von Stack, but will also temporarily cause you to stop moving and be sucked in towards the Porksy. Once you move down, there is no way to move back up the arena. If you end up in the straight line AoE at the end of the mechanic, it will go off and instantly turn you into a charred kebab. When this mechanic ends, the Porksy will return to the arena. Minced Meat is a tank buster. The Porksy will become untargetable and fly up into the smoke hovering above the arena. A bar labeled Mother Porksy's Magic will appear. If this bar fills, you won't be able to locate the Porksy's position, and if you get hit by the donut AoE, it will instantly one-shot you. An Aeolian Cave Sprite will appear. You'll need to destroy this ad as fast as possible. It will cast Buffet, which will be a straight line AoE directed towards a random party member. If you get hit by this, you'll get a small knockback. When you get the ad down to 0.1% health, it will cast Explosion. This will send all players flying up into the air. You'll be vaulted above the smoke, allowing you to see which direction the Mother Porksy is casting Huff and Puff. So when you land back on the ground, you can run to the correct side of the arena to be blown into the safe spot. I normally like to get into the middle of the arena so I can quickly adjust myself to the direction of the Porksy and head to that wall. Open Flame will give everyone a point-blank AoE. Spread out and don't overlap these. From here, mechanics will begin to repeat until Mother Porksy has been defeated. Congratulations, you have completed Matoya's Relict. My name is the Scrub. Thank you for watching.